Hi, and thank you for joining me for today's process video. And today is Pinkfresh Friday. On the fourth Friday of each month, we celebrate all things Pinkfresh and scrap using Pinkfresh Studio products. We can add things like Nouveau Deluxe Adhesive, which is what I'm doing here. Nouveau Crystal Drops, which is what I'm doing here. And flare buttons and Bramble Fox or JD 3D print to it, but we want to focus on Pinkfresh Studio, and this is a hop over on Instagram as well as here on YouTube, so do check the description box down below to see everybody else who's playing along. So today I'm using Simply the Best from Pinkfresh Studio, and as you can see I'm starting off with my Nouveau Crystal Drops, and I started off with the green, which is Olive Branch, and then I added in some Ebony Black, and finally I'm just about to come in with looking for the name, Apple Green, just to brighten up the green a little bit. I'm documenting a photo of my two kids and Leanne's daughter Sophie when we took them to Gulliver's World, which is a theme park here in Warrington back in 2012. So this is the photo. I'm just going to mat it onto some white cardstock just to make it pop a little bit, and I'm creating a vertical layout. And today I really wanted to focus on the beautiful frames that we get in Pinkfresh Studio collections. So that will be the main part of my focus. I am going to mat this photo with papers, but that's the only paper that's going to make it onto the layout. The rest of it will be the frames. So here I am with my bunch of papers, still quite a few papers left. I had the 6x6 paper pack from this as well. So just choosing the greens because it's a very, very green photo with all those trees behind the witch's hat that they're climbing on. So I'm just going to do my usual of layering up some mats to go behind this photo. So starting with that green leafy piece, and then I'm going to use this checkered piece, just trimming off the edges and offsetting them against one another so that they create a full mat behind the photo. Just seeing what else I can find. I really want to stick to the greens now that I've started with greens, I'm determined. And I find this piece, which is just perfect, and that will provide the biggest mat at the back. So just checking that they all look good together, just seeing if there's anything else I can find. And I do like the stripes in this piece, so having a think about that. That's my piece of card with my date written on. I write the dates on the back of photos that I pre-print, and before I start I tend to write them on a scrap of paper just so that I don't forget, because I either trim it off and throw it away, or I stick the mat down on the back and then realise that I haven't written the date, and then it's a faff to try and find it in my catalogue of photos on my computer or in my phone. I think these are pre-phone, these are on my computer. So just gluing all these mats together now, and I've chosen very boldly not to distress the edges. I do love a distressed edge, but today I challenged myself not to do that. So here I am, just sticking everything down without distressing, and I am not going to go back in and distress the edges, which you've seen me doing a multitude of times. So there's the last mat going down, and just waiting for the Nouveau to dry, and then I can bring that in and start creating the actual layout itself. Just having another look at this strip here, trying to decide if I want to use it, and I do. So I'm going to create a little flag behind, a banner piece behind the photo. You'll see what I mean shortly. So just trimming down to just have the green and a little bit of white border showing. And I shall trim off that where I punch that circle out for a previous layout. And then create fishtail banners at either end. So just testing, and it's more or less dry, so I can start building now. So first of all, creating those fishtails. Sometimes I'll cut a slit down the centre of the paper and then use that as my guide to cut the two sides, but today I've just folded over the paper, and I cut this white piece a little bit too wide on this side, so just trimming it down and then gluing it to my photo mat. And once this is down, I can start bringing the frames in. I was just wondering whether to offset it against that line that I've created down the centre, but I decided in fact it was better being absolutely central. And at the beginning you will have seen that I used my T-square ruler to make sure that I was doing that line down the 6-inch mark so that it was in the centre of the page. So here are those gorgeous frames. I've used one or two in the past, but I've got most of them left on the sheet. So I'm just going to start arranging them. I want to keep that vertical line, so I'm not going to go too far out to the sides. And I will have to move things around a little bit. I want them to be layered as well, but I wasn't sure how far they were going to stretch. It's hard to judge sometimes when they're all stuck on a sticker sheet, just how many you've got and how they're actually going to sit on the layout. So trying to spread the colours out as well, because they're all different colours on these, but they all work perfectly with this photo. And this one, I love that it says legendary, and I wanted that to show, so I've just cut it in half so that I can get more bang for my buck, if you like, from it. So adding the other half, or the other piece, to that right hand side, but of course that doesn't work with where I position that green one, so now just moving that out a little bit. And they are surprisingly sticky. I probably should have added some powder to them so that I could move them about more easily, but I was being a bit lazy. And they do pull up if you don't leave them too long. I should imagine they'll stick very well if you leave them. So still playing and working out what to do. I was umming and ahhing whether to use this red one because it's very different from the other tones, but it does add something really nice to the layout actually, and there is some red in the photo. You need to trust when you're using a collection that all the colours go together, so you can use them all in one layout. So again, just cutting this piece in half just so that I can get a little bit more value for money from it. And now I'm left with the huge pieces. So I'm going to bring one in down here, and as you can see I'm layering them on top of each other, and I really like the look of that. And then adding that tiny one to the bottom, and I will add some foam just to raise up the bottom edge a little bit. Can't remember if I do that off screen afterwards. So just using my T-square ruler, because it's a very angular layout, I just want to make sure that they are more or less straight, because it could look odd if they're not. And I can see that this one isn't quite right, so just lifting it up and checking. And now I'm going to come in with the 6x12 stickers to just see how I can embellish this. I don't want to add too much, but I just want to bring in a few more pieces. So first of all, that banner piece that says super fun, which works really nicely. And then this one that says so awesome. And then this little yay from the chipboard frames sticker sheet. Finally, this loving this piece just fills in that. And now I want to add my journaling, and I decided that this grey box and also the bottom right hand green box would be perfect for adding the journaling. So just drawing my guidelines first, and then I'll add the journaling. And it's just about where we were and why we were there. So coming in with my date stamp to add that to the bottom of that green box, just to finish that off nicely and fill it in. 9th of August 2012. And then I shall come in with some mixed media splatters. First of all, with the Nuvo crystal drops that I used at the beginning, so the ebony black, the olive branch and the apple green. Just adding dots around the page. And then once those are done, I'm going to come in with some shimmers paints. I've chosen Sage It Isn't So, which is a beautiful green, and it's a Creamies, and then an Inklings in Burnished Buckle, which is a beautiful bronze colour, which just works perfectly with these colours in this collection. And that's pretty much it. So stay tuned for the close-ups at the end. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Do check out the other people joining in the description box down below, and give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you do like my videos. I upload every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday, but I will be taking part in Christie's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches throughout the month of March, so there'll be a video coming every day from me throughout March. Thanks so much again, and I shall see you for my next video. Bye for now.